Hi, welcome back to Real Reviews. This is Cody Williams, and we are talking about the movie Black Widow. It is the newest addition to the MCU and chronologically takes place in between Civil War and Infinity War. I've always wanted a solo Black Widow movie ever since her first appearance in Iron Man 2, and I wholeheartedly enjoyed the character since then. But I can't believe it took this long to come into fruition. It's definitely a missed opportunity to not have this movie sooner than we did, because we know her outcome during the events of Avengers Endgame. The movie story follows Natasha Romanoff, who confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. Pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down, Natasha must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake long before she became an Avenger. Not gonna sugarcoat it, but I definitely had a fun time with this movie. Is it the best movie in the MCU? No. But I did find this film to be highly entertaining, to say the least. It's nowhere as bad as Thor the Dark World was, but this new movie could have been a tad better or so. Let's just say, it had the potential to be something truly fantastic, but the film loses its footing somewhere along the line. Where the film shines are with its characters. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow is simply amazing, just like always. Even Stranger Things veteran David Harbour was fantastic as the Red Guardian. We also have Rachel Weisz from 1999's The Mummy, who is absolutely stunning in this movie. If anyone stood out the most for me, it would definitely have to be Florence Pugh. The way her character was handled by the time it's all said and done, I cannot wait to see more of her in the future of the MCU. Talent aside, I really enjoyed all the setup and development for everyone. If there's one character that was abhorrently done, you may know what I'm about to say next, and that, my friends, was Taskmaster. I may not be thoroughly knowledgeable about the character from the comics, but I was pleasantly introduced to the villain from the Spider-Man PS4 game. I mean, it's pretty sad to say that a video game utilizes a character a whole lot better than the sad take in this particular movie. From my understanding, they changed Taskmaster's signature look of a skeletal helmet to more of a paintball helmet to avoid having the film being banned in China due to religious reasons. You can't argue the fact because China is the second largest box office in the world, and as a matter of fact, money talks. Be that as it may be, the reveal for Taskmaster during the third act was kind of a letdown, because I was expecting more from the character somehow. It was definitely a curveball that I was not expecting. Every other scene with this particular villain was just alright, to say the least. So I guess you could say that the MCU did not learn their lesson with the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. Yes, I know we're going to be seeing an actual Mandarin in the upcoming Shang-Chi film, but that's besides the point. Either way, if you're not going to give the character the full justice it deserves, do not bother with it at all. With the actual main villain orchestrating the events throughout the movie, you only see him maybe like 15 minutes or so. So I can kind of see how adding Taskmaster was probably an afterthought. If it wasn't, then color me surprised. The movie's many action set pieces were pretty spectacular, just as much as your average MCU movie. It may seem over the top crazy, but it's still fun to watch regardless. I'm still amazed by the awesome fight choreography that was bestowed throughout. This may be a common complaint among many, but I feel this movie could have gone without the comic relief in some instances. I just think the scattered jokes ruin the movie's potential to have some amazing scenes. I just wanted to see David Harbour kick some serious butt, since his character is a genetically enhanced super soldier along the lines of Captain America. You do get to see him in action to an extent, but not as much as I really wanted. We could have gotten an amazing fight sequence in one particular scene, but sadly it gets reduced down to an Ace Ventura related joke. Overall, I think Black Widow is definitely worth a watch if you're a big fan of the MCU movies. While it may be considered a filler story, nevertheless I was pleasantly surprised by how good it was. In the end, some things worked out well, and some things didn't. I may not be too over the moon with this movie, but I still had fun regardless. I gave this movie a B-. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Keep up my real reviews.